Well, I finished Life After Death by Sister Souljah. Y'all want to hear about it? Here it go.
Want me to intro to your book review?
Right. Hey, y'all. Hey. So listen. I finished the book. I finally finished the book. I actually did a combination of reading as well as listening on Audible. So I'll be able to give you my reviews on both of those on tonight. I usually do not give my full opinion about whether or not I like the book until further on in the videos. But I just feel a need to kind of switch things up a little bit on this one and just come right out and tell you guys that I did not like this book. And I wanted to so bad. But nope. It was a whole no for me. I heard a lot of people giving it some reviews beforehand that said that they didn't like it either. And see, I'm not the person that gets deterred by bad reviews. Like, I'm going to still read the book anyway. If I said I was going to read it, I'm going to read it. I was really kind of hoping too that maybe it was just a really high expectation on this book because it was a sequel and we had waited so long for it. And maybe, you know, people just were being really critical about it. And I read it and drew the conclusion that that just wasn't it at all. Like, there was just a lot of stuff about the book that didn't make for great reading. And it really did not hit any type of literary peak for me at all. It took me close to a month to actually get the book completed out. And again, that was a combination of reading and listening to the book. And that's not a good look. I felt like I was reading a whole new genre of book. And while I am not opposed to reading different genres, I do have a problem with a book series or even a book with a sequel having one genre for your first book and then seemingly a totally different one in your sequel. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And while some very, very good authors might be able to pull something like that off, Sister Souljah did not do it. We definitely spent the first portion of this book trying to figure out what exactly is she trying to do here. And eventually I was like, oh, okay, I see where she's trying to go with this. And I was really trying to ride with her on this journey. But it was really difficult. It was really difficult. I said before, it took me nearly a month to get through this book. It did not grab me at any point and just make me be like, ooh, and just keep me just flipping the pages, next, not wanting to move and get up and not do anything else until I finished. I didn't feel that. I definitely felt it with the coldest winter ever, okay? But Life After Death did not give me any of those feels. There were moments when I was actually reading the words on the pages, but not comprehending any of what it was saying, really. And a part of me felt like, okay, Tamara, this might be you because sis, you're not tuned in. Like, you need to drink you some coffee, get you a shot of something and tune in. Like, this could be a you thing, Tam. But then it kept happening. And so I had to come to the conclusion that this ain't just me. Like, I'm not that distracted with the rest of my life. It is this book, because I literally pulled away from reading this book and read another book in like 2 days because it was amazing. And then came back to this book so I could finish up and still was just like, dang, we still here? She gives you depth and things to think about. And while that's usually a great thing that I like about books, this time it didn't resonate very well with me because there wasn't anything organic about it. It was like, how do I describe this? It was like you're listening to something, right? A podcast or something. And then there is a portion of the story where the person forgot to tell you something. And so when they're editing, they throw themselves saying this part into it real quick. And then it goes back to talking about whatever it was talking about beforehand. So it's like this moment where you can tell that something was interjected into like the voiceover. Oh goodness, I'm taking too damn long to tell you this. Child, it just didn't flow. That's what I was trying to say. I done went around the street and down the corner and oh child, it didn't flow. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. It didn't flow. I know I be taking too long to tell y'all how I be feeling about stuff. My bad. I was just trying to make sure y'all understood what I was trying to say. That's all. And I don't consider what I'm about to say to be a spoiler at all, but just somewhat of a more specific detail about the book. It kind of plays with the idea of bestiality and just the whole idea of some of the stuff that she brought up and did in this sequel to The Coldest Winter Ever. It just didn't make sense to me. And another thing about this book, by the time we got to the end, I wasn't sure if Winter had really ever learned a lesson. Like, I just didn't really know where she stood in life. Was she still the same Winter Santiago from The Coldest Winter Ever? Or was she this new and improved and wiser woman? It really wasn't clear what she was at the end of the book. I mean, I just didn't know. It wasn't clear. It wasn't very clear at all. This was the most highly anticipated book that we just did not need. And I kind of feel bad slightly for Sister Souljah because I'm sure that sis put a lot of work and effort into making this book. And to hear the feelings that people have about the book, I'm sure it cannot be a good feeling. Maybe she's not even listening or reading the reviews, and it might be in her best interest, honestly, because I couldn't imagine putting a piece of art out there to the world for it to be bashed the way that it has been. And that's saying a lot as one of the people that's bashing it. But my honest opinion is my honest opinion. It just wasn't a good book. It's not something that I'm going to be like, oh yeah, go grab this book up and read it. I just could not do that with this. I couldn't, especially if you're someone who has read The Coldest Winter Ever. That probably made it even more difficult to read because we all know how amazing The Coldest Winter Ever was. And I didn't even talk about the Audible. Y'all. So our good sis, Nia Long, was the Audible narrator for this book. And all I'm going to say is everybody can't do everything. I think that Nia Long has an amazing voice. It is identifiable. So even if I'm not looking at the television screen, if I hear her voice, I know that that's who that is that's talking. However, with that said, she did nothing for this book. Nothing. I felt like she was talking hard and harsh in places that she really didn't need to. It was almost as if she didn't really understand the book much herself and was just going. And then sometimes it felt like this accent that she was trying to throw in there was super fake. Like, Nia, why did you say that like that? Like, you didn't need to say that like that. It was like listening to her recite a 340-page poem from Love Jones. And that's not a good thing. Child, I didn't enjoy reading or listening to this book. And if I had to give this book an acrylic nail rating, Tam Telling Tales would give Life After Death by Sister Souljah one acrylic nail. Just one. Had she been telling this story with all brand new characters, maybe this would work. I feel like maybe this book could have gotten some extra acrylic nails had this not been a sequel. But because it was a sequel, I can't give it a green light. Now, I know that this was a really highly anticipated book, so I'm sure it's a lot of you that have read the book yourselves. And I'm curious to know what you guys thought about the book too. So drop down in the comments and tell me what you guys thought. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now will be a great time for you to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a video. You guys, thanks so much for listening to little old me tell you what I thought about Life After Death by Sister Souljah, the sequel to The Coldest Winter Ever. I appreciate you being here with me. And remember, I'm Tam. I'm telling tales. Read a book.